The LA County DA investigates an altercation involving Tory Lanez, a new update in the Tim Norman murder for hire case, and insight into Cardi B's plea agreement. All that on today's Celebrity News. Welcome to today's Celebrity News. I'm your host, Jaye So Extra. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. We have a lot to go over, so let's get started. Tory Lanez, real name Daystar Peterson, is being investigated by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for an incident involving rapper/singer August Alsina that allegedly took place in Chicago on September 17th. There's a video circulating social media that shows August Alsina walking past Tory Lanez in a backstage area at a concert venue. Once August walks past Tory Lanez, you can see Tory Lanez extending his hand to ask for a handshake from August, but August then proceeds to ignore Tory. Afterwards, you can see Tory's entourage or bodyguards, telling him to don't do it, to basically let it go. And then you see some other people trying to console Tory Lanez. Afterwards, the video shows a clip of Tory Lanez coming from an area like a corner in this backstage area and running past, and there's a person in the video saying, "Oh, Tory Lanez just said that he punched this guy out." So there is no footage of an actual interaction or altercation between Tory Lanez and August Alsina, but August Alsina himself did post some pictures on his Instagram, and I must warn you, these photos are very graphic, so if you are squeamish to blood, please turn away now. From these photos, you can see that August is showing that his lip has been injured. It is busted and red and bleeding. He also has injuries on his arms, his knees, and his legs. In the caption below these photos, you can read that August is saying that he was attacked by a toupee-wearing assailant. Now, if you can remember, Tory Lanez was arrested back in July of 2020 for a firearms incident involving a few women, including Meg Thee Stallion. He was indicted in October 8th of 2020 and is still awaiting trial to face charges of possession of a firearm. For that July 2020 incident, I'm going to read to you what Tory Lanez was charged with. Daystar Peterson, aka Tory Lanez, was charged today, this was October 2020, with one felony count each of assault with semi-automatic firearm, personal use of a firearm, and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. The defendant also faces a gun allegation and that he personally inflicted great bodily injury. As I mentioned, Tory Lanez is out on bond, and a stipulation of his bond, he must stay out of trouble, meaning he can't be associated with any known felons. He cannot get into any altercations, any fights, brawls, or any other situation involving a firearm. Now, the Los Angeles County District Attorney is investigating this alleged incident between Tory Lanez and August Alsina to verify its validity, because if Tory Lanez is found guilty of an assault on August Alsina, that means he is in violation of his bond and will possibly face detainment as he awaits trial for that incident involving Meg Thee Stallion. I will continue to follow this case, and I will bring you any updates in regards to the alleged incident between Tory Lanez and August Alsina, and whether or not the Los Angeles County District Attorney finds fault in Tory Lanez in this incident, and if his bond will be revoked. In our next story, I bring you an update in the Tim Norman murder for hire trial. Last week, I reported that Tim was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud. In my previous videos, I reported that there were 3 other conspirators named within this case: an exotic dancer named Tanisha Ellis, the alleged gunman named Travell Anthony Hill, and the insurance agent that allegedly co-conspired with Tim on the mail and wire fraud. His name is Jaye Yagnam. But Travell Anthony Hill pled guilty to murder back in June of 2022. Travell was scheduled for sentencing on September 20th, but that sentencing has been delayed. And I'm going to read to you a document that was filed in the Eastern District of Missouri courts regarding the continuation of Travell's sentencing. Motion to continue sentencing. Comes now defendant Travell A. Hill by and thou his attorney, Peter M. Cohen, and respectfully requests that the sentencing be reset in this matter. In support, defendant states, number 1, sentencing is presently set for September 20th, 2022. Number 2, counsel needs additional time to review the pre-sentence report with his client and to prepare for the sentencing hearing. Number 3, counsel has consulted Assistant U.S. Attorney Angie Danis, and she does not oppose a continuance. Wherefore, defendant respectfully requests this honorable court continue the sentencing for 30 days in this matter. Now, the continuance of the sentencing was granted by Judge Ross, and the sentencing is now scheduled for October 20th, 2022. And if you can remember, Terica and Wally are scheduled to be sentenced on October 26th of 2022. Now, I was planning on being at the sentencing on September 20th, but because of this continuation, I am making plans to be at the sentencing on October 20th for Travell Anthony Hill, who was the alleged gun for hire in the Tim Norman murder for hire case. He was allegedly hired by Tim Norman to kill Tim Norman's nephew, Andre Montgomery, back in March of 2016. Travell, Terica, and Tim at one time were all facing the death penalty. The death penalty has been removed from the table for all 3 defendants. However, Travell faces a mandatory life sentencing. Now, Travell did agree to cooperate with the prosecution while they were arguing their case against Tim Norman. So I am curious to see whether or not Travell will actually be sentenced for mandatory life, or if his cooperation agreement or plea deal brings down his time anywhere between 20 and 25 years. So I'll have more for you after the sentencing. And for our last story, Cardi B pleads guilty. This guilty plea comes as a result of an incident that happened back in 2018. Allegedly, Cardi B was at a nightclub with some friends of hers, and the group allegedly attacked 2 bartenders who were sisters, one named Jade, the other one Batty B, I believe is her name. Batty G, excuse me. Jade and Batty G, who were sisters and bartenders. There were reports that Cardi B accused one of the sisters of having an intimate relationship with her husband, Offset, and that was the alleged reason for the attack and altercation. Initially, Cardi B was facing up to 10 charges and jail time. Cardi B agreed to a plea agreement that would reduce the 10 charges down to only 2. So when Cardi B pled guilty, she pled guilty to 3rd-degree assault and 2nd-degree reckless endangerment. Cardi B was sentenced to 15 days of community service. She has until January 1, 2023 to serve those 15 days of community service. Otherwise, she will be facing jail time. That's all I have for you today. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Like this video, leave me a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, stay safe.